It's garbage. Oh, here we go. What are you looking, baby girl? What are you? Oh, his face. I don't think he needs a facial right now. I really don't. But you might want to check in with him and see. See if we're broadcasting correctly. There's YouTube, Twitch. Come on, Facebook. Come on. Oh, there we go. Facebook's good. Hey guys. Maybe I should share this out. I don't know. Tonight is Friday. I have not. Is it Friday or is it Thursday? Wait, what day is it? It's Friday. Oh God, I don't even know what day it is. Tonight is the feng shui readings. If anybody's interested. Hey, Beth Allen, how are you? I think you're the only one watching. Oh, by the way, I got your message and I got the thing about removing all the kings. So that's fine. I can do that. I can totally do that. And whenever you want, just let me know. Like, let me know what day, like around what day, and then I will message you like right prior to doing it, like you asked. And no, that doesn't creep me out, by the way, what you asked about grounding or earthing while you're doing it. Doesn't bother me at all. My hair bothers me though. It's like total bad head. I've had I've had a headache like right here in the right side of my brain all day today. I don't know why. Maybe because I've been in mediumship class the last few weeks, last few nights. That's why I haven't been live, because what happened? Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, there was classes every night. So from 6 to 8. And so I got kind of hit left to left, left to right to left. So I was unable to come on live. So I thought I would come on live tonight and just see if there's any interest. If there's not interest, that's fine. But I should be on and trying to make money. So these are the feng shui readings that we did with the 8 cards and the Bagua. But it doesn't seem like there's a lot of viewers. So there's only 2 of you. So maybe nobody's interested. I could share it out to groups, but maybe tonight's not the night. Crack it open. I've just been kind of lazy all day today. I found out the job I interviewed for I didn't get, which I'm kind of bummed about, but whatever. Probably wasn't meant to be anyways. So, hence why I'm on tonight. I need to repair my raven or my crow that got broken. The dog knocked it off the table and like see his beak got chipped off. But luckily, he's made out of black onyx, but I have his beak piece still here. So I just have to figure out which direction it goes on. Wait, that's not right. It goes like that. I gotta fix it. Hey, Vicky, how are you, dear? I'm just on like double checking, making sure anybody wants readings or not. If not, that's okay. Wait, how did this go? I know that there was a way that this, there we go. So I gotta glue that back on. Why don't I do that while I talk to you guys? Hey, Leslie West, how are you? Just wanted to say hello. Thank you for saying hello. I'm kind of bummed about that job, but it's maybe for the best. Only because it would have been full-time and kind of crazy and pulling me in directions maybe I wasn't ready to go. To puncture nozzle, turn cap clockwise. Watch me make a mess of this. Unscrew cap counterclockwise. Did it not turn the... I don't know if that worked. They're attempting to fix the crow's nose. Hopefully this will work. Let's see. Without getting it stuck to my fingers with this super glue. And I can already feel it sticking. Shit. Shit. God damn it. This is what happens when the puppy eats cords and knocks things off of the table. All right. I think we're okay there. Now, how do I guess I just do that and it locks tight. Hi, Aaron Tunka Ursoi. How much are the readings? I PayPal you to so I can do one. The readings on here are 25. So you don't have to do one, Beth. You can do one like you already, it's up to you. It's not mandatory. Just because these are live, I do them for 25. These should actually probably be a little bit more expensive because they're a little bit more. They're like 8 cards and a whole bunch of other stuff. But you want me to do it? All right, let me set up the board then. 1 second. Whoops, sorry. Sorry, cards. So let me make sure that the board is centered. Let me move my poor crow back. Now his beak is fixed. My onyx crow has a fixed beak, although it's a little bit gluey, but whatever. And I have like super glue on my fingers now. All right. All right, so let me fix the cameras really quick. God, there's the only 2 viewers. Everybody must be out and about on a Friday. It's beautiful here, so that might be, I don't know what's going on elsewhere, but we have like really great weather. Oh, that's knocked way wrong. Okay. Wait, what's going on here? What is that? Wait, what is this? I don't know what's going on here with this. That's a really long, I'm not sure about everything that you've just typed there, Aaron. That's a lot to read right now because I'm going to start doing readings. So I don't know if I can keep up with all of that stuff. Okay, dear? So let me see. What have I done wrong here? I've moved this cord. That's part of the problem. So let me get this centered. I don't like that. Why is this not showing up the way it's supposed to? Hold on 1 second. There we go. That's a bit better. All right, so have you done one of these, Beth? Do you know about this? Have you seen this before? So or do I need to explain it to you? So like I came up with this idea with the feng shui Bagua because I was looking at feng shuiing my house a little bit and doing some certain stuff, and I was starting to look and in feng shui, and I don't know a whole lot about it, but there's the different directions, right? You have the north, the northeast, the east, the southeast, south, southwest, west, and northwest. And each area of your home is a part of a different sort of aspect of yourself, right? So I started thinking about it. I was like, how cool would it be to like do a card for each area to represent each area of our like sort of our world right now. And then I got different sort of runes and things to throw down. Some are made out of wood, right? Some are made out of metal, which metal is one of the elements that they use in feng shui. Wood is also. And then some are made out of these little stones. I think these are moonstone, which to me represented for earth. So that's like earth, wood, and metal. I didn't know, I don't have a water aspect because water and fire, there's not really one to do. So we're working with those for now. And that's how, are you still here, Beth? I just want to make sure you're still here. I think you are, because I still have 2 viewers. But what we're going to do is we're going to shuffle the cards, and then we drop the different coins on everything and see where everything correlates. Okay. So a card for the north. And just so you know, this map is actually directionally sound in the sense that the north is that direction in my home, the northeast is that direction, the east is that direction. So it is positioned exactly as it should be. So we're honoring all of the different directions via this map. And I'll read to you what each sort of section counts for in a moment. Oops, okay, so here's a card for the north. We're going to do a card for the northeast next. Hey, Leslie, how are you, dear? A card for the northeast. And a card for the east. The element of wood. Here's for the east, for the element of wood. Card for the southeast. Element of money or wealth. Card for the south for fame, public recognition. So for fame, the southwest. The southwest. The west. The west. Hey guys, for those of you that are just coming in, I see that I have a few more viewers. Please say hello. For the west. Share out the video stream if you'd like. For the west, and then for the northwest, for helpful people. Okay, then because it goes like in a counterclockwise, the first element that I have is my wood in the east. So I start with the wood runes, and I try and drop them right in the center and see where they land. Then I go to the next element, which would be earth. Going around the Bagua, which would be these other runes, like see where they land. And then the last one, which would be the northwest, which would be metal. And these are more tarot coins, but they're on metal coins. So I pull a few of those just to see where they land. Okay. Interesting. All right, so now we're going to start in the north. We always start in the north. Let me turn on. Can you guys see everything okay? Or do you need more light on the board? Because it's kind of getting a little bit dark here. So I just want to make sure you can see everything okay before I start. I think maybe you can. I'm hoping. Oh, and let me get my rune. No, that's not the right one. Hold on one second. I'm trying to find the rune translator that I like. Give me one moment. There's one that I really like that gives me. Where is it? This is the one. Yeah. I think this is the right one. All right, so we're gonna try and roll with this. Hey, Mary, how are you? All right, so in the north, this is your career and journey. It's also the element of snake and hearing. It rules over the sense of hearing, but it's also the element of water, right? So we're just gonna look at and I'll kind of corroborate everything as I go. So the first card, we have the 5 of Pentacles. So career journey, to me, this doesn't necessarily have to mean like your job. It can, but it can also be your life journey. The 5 of Pentacles would indicate sort of a setback, being put out in the cold. It is transitory. So I would say right now things feel a little bit off in this area or not necessarily quite connected. I want to look at the rune that we have because you have this rune face up. And it is, where's that crisscross rune? Is this the right one? Long branch. Nope, this is not the right alphabet. One second. Where is the... No, that's not the right one. That's younger Futhark. I don't want younger Futhark. I want... Hold on one second, guys. Sorry. Because there's a certain one that I like. I think it's Elder. I think it's Elder Futhark. ELDERFUTHARK. Runic alphabet. Oh. Yeah, this is it. Okay, so, and then we have one second. This is Ingwis fertility, right? I don't know how well you guys can see this. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It's fertility and where did I just, true love, music, and harmony. Oh, sorry. Do you see that? And then underneath this on the wood, we have New Hope, which is dolphin, okay? But he's flipped over. So when I look at this in the water department, I like that the dolphin shows up in the north in your sort of water sector, meaning dolphin to me, that energy is going to move through the water quite quickly and bring about new hope. This brings about fertility. What was the description? One more time. Sorry. It's true love, music, and harmony. So to me, when I look at that, that works very well with this dolphin rune. I also want to look at this rune down here because it's kind of sitting right in the bottom of this. And this says time to move, migration. So we need to make some changes in our career path right now. I don't know that time right now is the time exactly, because both of these wooden runes are flipped over, meaning like we've maybe been contemplating making that change, getting into that harmony that this rune represents so that we can move forward and move out of whatever state we've been in. If things feel tight, restricted, not quite the way that they need to be, that's okay. I think that all of this is about to change if it hasn't already started. That's what the new hope of dolphin means. And this idea of migration. Migration sitting down here in the center is kind of sort of like, to me, how I would consider like the deep subconscious, or it needs time to work its way up into that space or that area, right? And so, but I do feel like with this being so positive and new hope and also migration, meaning time to move, we also see movement happening here, excuse me, in this Five of Pentacles, where they're moving along. A five is always transitory, right? So if there is sort of a setback feeling in your journey career, like we don't know which way to move right now, or we're feeling like we can't move as fast as we want to or in the direction that we want to, don't worry. I do feel like that's about to change. Remember, new hope and migration were flipped over. So that means they're not quite here yet. They haven't yet arrived, but they will. And that this is flipped up, right? So that harmony, sort of fertility, creativity aspect will begin to show up, or should already be here. And it's beginning to maybe open the doors for these other two wooden runes to come in and help to affect this area. Now, moving to the northeast is your area of spiritual connection. So let's see what's going on in here. So we have the Two of Cups. I like that for your spiritual connection. Cups would be the element of water. North and then east would be water meeting wood, right? The two elements. So this is sort of a home to water. All of these three would be home to water. And also, I will say this, Two Pentacles is complementary to water in tarot. So this isn't necessarily a bad card to have in your water department. It just is not, it's not the best Pentacles card, let's say. It might feel a little bit like I said, setback, frustrating, or like we need to get somewhere else, or we're trying to get somewhere else. We're focused on being somewhere else, but we will get there. There is hope there. In the spiritual connection, what I love about this is we have these two people sort of connected up, kind of appreciating one another in inequality. And when I think of twos, yes, especially the Two of Cups, it can indicate like romance, but this being in the spiritual connection sector, to me speaks to like being really connected to your own spirit, right? Like the two in this would be you, like maybe your mind, ego self and your spirit self kind of coming together and ideally working together to hopefully bring about maybe the change that you're seeking here. Now, I want to see what this rune is. Let me just look really quick, because this rune is flipped over. This is, I think, because sometimes some of these runes look very similar, and you would think these Vikings would have been able to spell a little bit better. This looks like, to me, Jera, which is earth and right action. So it's flipped over, which says to me, and it's interesting because this is earth element. So I kind of feel like this is connected to this and this, like all of this is sort of coming together. Like your career journey space is maybe going to merge at some point with your spiritual connection, and all will kind of be well is sort of the vibe that I'm getting. But there's like a weight on this because this is upside down, and so is this time to move. Like maybe now is not the exact right time, but when it does come about, you'll know when, and you'll make that move, and it will be for your highest good. It will be sort of spiritually led, or like your spirit's connection will be a part of this whole process. So I like that there. Now moving down into the east, or the wood sector of your chart. This is your health. It's also represented by the element, like the animal of dragon, and your sense of sight. So let's see what this card is. So this is the Three of Pentacles. Not a bad card to have in the wood department just because it's earth and wood grows from the earth. Three of Pentacles is about collaboration, coming together, being inspired by that. I like that this is in your health department, meaning like you should feel good. And this could be mind, body, spirit health, feeling connected in that way, feeling like you're in a good place. This could also be you working together with, say, doctors or health providers where you feel like you're on top of everything, things feel good to you or understood. We do have this spider that's kind of, if you look here, this spider rune is like sort of teetering on the line here, but it says fate, which is interesting to me. And I want to see what this rune is here. This is owl and this is spirits. And he's kind of touching on both your health department and your spiritual connection. So I like that. He's more in the health department, but I feel like ultimately there's still a guidance happening from there. And owls, aside from being spirits, they also mean knowledge to me, right? Like wisdom. So there's something going on here where I think that your mind, if anything, this might be your mind too, and your spiritual connection, a combination of both, are lending to ideally, hopefully, an optimism around your health or things getting more lined up and in a better place if they're not right now. I feel like they should be or they will be, because the Three of Pentacles always indicates like success through collaboration, right? Everybody bringing their own sort of take on it. I also kind of think this could be your mind, body, spirit connection coming together and manifesting physically within your health and working really well, because we see this 2 here. It's almost like we have a 2 and then a 3, like it's building upon itself. So the connection that we have in our spiritual connection with ourselves starts to exemplify and show itself physically or manifest physically in our health space. Does that make sense? And then the next area is the money or wealth sector, right? And wealth to me, I mean, I know that definitely indicates finances, but I also think about just sort of like how abundant are we, right? I loosely judge this area on abundance and in that sort of wealth. So, and fate, remember, spider's kind of leaning on this. He indicates fate, which I just think he's in an interesting position there. So let's see what we've got. We've got the 10 of Swords. Not the best of cards to see there, although 10s indicate like an ending coming about. If there's been some struggle around money or feeling abundant, I hopefully feel like this is about releasing those thoughts around struggle, right? Around just kind of being done with being done, if that makes any sense. And so mentally, we may have struggled with sort of feeling like we have everything that we need or that things come to us easily. I think that this 10 can indicate like you're tired of sort of worrying about that sort of stuff. I also feel like that could very much be the case because we see sort of beneficial things happening over here in your mind. So why not apply some of those beneficial thoughts and ideas to your sort of wealth sector, right? There is one coin here, so I'm going to look at it and see what it is. This is the Ace of Swords. So it's flipped over and it's down here sort of more in the subconscious. But what I love about this is we have the 10 here, right? Which is that ending of something that maybe has not defeated us, but given us trouble or we've struggled with maybe for some time around where we feel abundant, or maybe we feel a little bit limited also because of the limitation we see up here in this 5. But when we flip this over, or when this comes into play and effect and starts to rise up into this space, this is like the sort of the new dawn or the new hope that we see here. It's the new dawn in the wealth and money sector that could be coming about for us. We just need to like hold tight. Also, this, like I said, this spider is here with this word fate, meaning like everything will kind of work out in that way. We also have this owl here, spirits and knowledge or wisdom. He's kind of affecting this area here, but because it's next door to the southeast, I think that it could, he could be having some bearing on what's going on that's changing your thoughts or your patterns around your thoughts. And while you're coming to an ending with some of this maybe like not a lack-based focus, but just being done. Like, I don't want to worry about this anymore, kind of thing. And then that opens up the freedom of the Ace of Swords to kind of come in and open up new ideas, new avenues, and things that may be faded to you that are exciting. The other thing that I will say too is my mind's eye is taking me to this place of like, you know how spiders sometimes they work in such intricacy making their webs, and they're so delicate in nature, and they kind of work, and it can take some time to build just the right web. And that might be what Spider's saying here too, is just trust that as things change, allow me to build this web so that we can catch this wealth or these ideas that are in this Ace of Swords in this web that is like sort of ours to be had, right? It's there for you. So I wouldn't worry about that so much. Now, the next card is your fame. This is also this to the south. This is the animal is that rules. This is Phoenix, and the sense that rules is taste. But let's see what this is. And when I talk about fame, this is also like public recognition. Like, we always associate fame with, you know, being in the media and stuff, but I don't see that as fame here. I see this as also being like how we're perceived by the outside world, right? Like by those around us. I use that as the terminology for fame. So here's the Two of Pentacles. I don't think this is a bad card. I think this is about somebody who tries to maintain balance, who tries to keep grounded, who tries to keep things cool. You might have a little bit of like relationships where you find yourself giving more than taking, like per se, to kind of keep the peace. That's sort of the feeling that I get from him. And it's okay that these are upside down. This to me is upright because I want them to go in the flow of how they are. Does that make sense? So this is not considered inverted. If it was like this, if it came out like this, then I would consider it upside down, but it's not. So it's like a mirror of everything, right? So when I see this here, it just seems like, you know, we may juggle our relationships a little bit. We may adapt. There could be a slight bit of people pleasing going on in here, but ultimately it's your choice and you've chosen it. That's I feel like the solidity, is that even a word? Hold on. I feel like that's, because this is your choice, I am going to turn on another light because I want to see this more clearly because I'm blind as a bat. Give me 1 second. This is you sort of, how do I want to say this? Like making a conscious choice to like keep the peace. Like, is it really worth fighting for? You know, you're well perceived. I feel like you're somebody that can be counted upon. You're somebody that can be like available to others. But I do sense that, like with this two here, that there might be stuff that you don't always say, that you don't always share, that you might hold back just to kind of keep the peace, right? There's nothing wrong with that. It's just sort of what I sort of sense with that card being in this space. Would it be nice to be grown a little bit? Yeah, I would think so. That's just my personal opinion, but I don't necessarily see it as a bad thing. It may be in due time. Like, I also find it interesting that we have Pentacles and Pentacles, right? Both opposite one another. And I kind of feel like this may shift when this shifts, right? Because when we shift this, when this new hope and the time to move starts to come into play, right? Where we start to shift any sort of setback or whatever that we feel like we're feeling in our career, like life journey path, then we can be more adept at sort of going after what we want and being perceived in a more truer fashion. Right now, we're just sort of like doing what, you know, maybe is perceived as the right thing, maybe more so for others than for us, because we're still trying to sort out what's going on up here. So I feel like these two might be connected in a weird way. Now, the next sector is the Southwest. This is your love and marriage department. Now, one of these coins kind of touches in your fame department, so I just want to flip it over and look at it. This is the Knight of Wands. You have also the Knight of Cups. So you have two knights kind of here, which is interesting to me. Let's see what card you have. The Page of Cups. Okay. Could be a water sign, could be a water sign, could be a fire sign. Usually court cards indicate people outside of ourselves. What's interesting to me is that you have 2 courts, 2 knights in metal, and then you have the card of the page, right? So we're talking Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces could be this energy. The Knight of Cups, it's almost like I kind of get a feeling that the Knight of Cups, Page of Cups energy could be the same person, maybe going back and forth between being fun and playful, maybe a little bit juvenile, to being ideally an adult or showing up in that sort of way. The Knight of Wands, I kind of get a feeling, I don't know if this is an actual other person, like a fire sign, or it could be this desire to sort of get things rolling. I feel like, wasn't the Knight of Wands in that card reading I did for you? I feel like it was. Or maybe it was the King of Wands. There was some sort of Wands energy. So it's funny that this is here again. And I do sort of feel like it's interesting because he's down here lower and he's sort of sitting over here also a little bit in the fame sector, right? So I kind of get the impression that some of this balancing act that you're doing, where you may not be saying everything you feel to keep like or maintain a sort of grounded, balanced public perception, could be around some of this in the love sector too, right? Like we don't necessarily want to set them off because he's upside down, sort of facing over here too. So it feels like even though he's only bordered on this line, he feels like he's also focused a little bit on this area here. So before we kick this off with, if this is the same person or the same energy that's kind of bouncing back and forth between the Page of Cups and the Knight of Cups, our desire to maybe get things moving or take action might be put on hold a little bit right now as we try and figure out, well, if I take action, how does it affect this sector of my world, right? What am I going to have to say? And how does that shift my Two of Pentacles energy, right? Am I going to have to speak my mind to get what I want? Am I going to have to speak, say some things that might upset the apple cart? The interesting thing here, though, you have Pentacles here and Pentacles here, and over here you have cups and cups, like twice. So that's also kind of in balance in a interesting way. So not only is your connection with spirit in this emotional state of well-being, but your sort of physical connections in a more love, marriagey sort of way are also not balanced, but they're definitely emotionally connected. So I like that. Now the next card is the west. To the west, this is Earth, the element of Earth. And this is your house of creativity. It also is ruled by the animal of ox, and it's the sense of touch. So let's see what this is. So this is the Knight of Cups. Interesting. So I'm just trying to figure out, I almost feel like I want to see who's in helpful people, but I don't know if this knight and this knight are connected, because I almost feel like when I look at this card, I feel like he's moving towards this sector, like he wants to come over to this sector. That's just the feeling that I get because his horse is positioned that way. I don't always get that. The Knight of Cups is a lovely card to have in your creativity sector, right? He's also complementary to that earth, right? Where we see that earth and water complementary here. He's complementary in that regard. I feel like he would be loyal. He's usually a love offering or something that we feel emotionally connected to. He would be a sound person, I believe, or if this is an aspect of you, ideally in your creative sector, there should be a lot of opportunity for kind of emotional growth, emotional connectivity, feeling whole, in love, all of that sort of stuff with whatever it is you're doing. I feel like this is a very beneficial card to have in this sector. But I want to look at this card because I don't know why I feel like this is him maybe moving towards this direction. So let me look at these last two. So in your northwest sector is helpful people, and the animal is tiger, and then the sensory element is smell. And this is the metal sector, just so you know. This rules metal. So this is the Ace of Cups. And then let me look at this rune. This rune is, okay, so this is that V rune. So let me see what that V rune is really quick. I get a feeling that knight is moving towards you. Is that the right one? I think that's Kaunaz, fire or knowledge. In the helpful people sector. All right, I'm going to go with this because this is just what my gut is telling me. I get a feeling that there could be, the Ace of Cups can indicate new love, right? And this being in the helpful people sector feels like, I don't know why, but I get this weird feeling like he's moving towards this sector, or this could be an aspect of you moving towards this sector and creating this love, creating this connectivity, creating something new here out of nowhere that is going to be overflowing, abundant, and emotionally connected with somebody that you consider to be helpful. And see, this is the thing, because like you've told me a bit about your situation, Beth, so I kind of have a feeling a little bit about who that might be. And I think that you probably understand what I'm talking about, but it's interesting to me. I just don't know. Remember, this time to move was flipped over, and this new hope was also flipped over. So I'm not saying don't do anything or take any action right now, but right now it may not be happening just yet, but it will come about at some point. It will be I almost think like this is him and him. This is you, this Knight of Wands. And it's kind of like you haven't quite fully like maybe spoken your mind or what you want because you're not sure how it's going to affect the balance of everything right now. And right now you're trying to balance other stuff for yourself right now. This is you and your creativity sector moving towards this, which happens to be the connection between this and this for you is happening internally for you right now. It's preparing you for this to come about over here. Does that make any sense? And so you get to experience that sort of connection, that new love, and the awareness of that, because that rune is knowledge, right? And it's also fire, which fire would indicate passion to me. And we do have the Knight of Wands down here, which is also fire. So, but again, this rune was flipped over. So to me, it's like that knowledge is not quite there yet. We just need to give it time again. Like when it's right, I feel like you will know. Especially with this Two of Cups here, because this is about you. I feel like this is also about, I feel like this could have a dual meaning, like you and your spirit being connected, right? And you being in communion with your spirit and your spiritual connection, your guides, all of that, but also listening to that. But this could also be about the desire for that type of a love too, and feeling that at a spiritual level, and then sort of manifesting that over time. And it comes out somewhere over here when all of this starts to readjust. And when it becomes time to move, you might find yourself moving towards this relationship. Hey, Athena, how are you, dear? No, I mean new love in the sense of like, not new love like a new person, like the ability to have that abundance of like free flowing love is maybe the way that I want to put it. Hey, Athena, how are you, honey? So that's what I mean. It's just like a sort of an overflow. If it's not an overflow from like this sort of love situation down here, then I would assume that that Ace of Cups would be very indicative of that there are helpful people around you that want to help you, and just remain like open to that and let that sort of abundance flow in, let that emotional connection flow in. I feel like, you know, that would definitely be part of that card. I think it could be with what you have now. What I'm saying is I think that now, my feeling is that I think now is not the time, if that makes any sense. And so because this migration one, time to move, was flipped over and a new hope is flipped over. Like, I feel like, to be honest, there's something going on here in the career journey area where there's some questions you need to sort out for yourself. You're clear here on what you need to do. Like, your spiritual connection is strong. Consulting with that, this little fertility sort of rune is telling me that this is beginning to percolate, to shift and change whatever things you feel like limit you. And I think that there is a draw towards somebody that you have going on here, quite potentially a water sign, but you're not saying everything you need to say, or you're not feeling quite like you should, if that makes sense. At some point, I feel like you very well may say it. It may overflow like this Ace of Cups. But I feel like it's a matter of time, right? Like, that's the thing where I feel like it might be what you have. It's just not right now. Does that make sense? Yes, but now doesn't feel like it's the real person. Okay, I'm not sure what that means, Beth. Yes, but now doesn't feel like it's the real person. In the last card, you're talking about the Ace of Cups, yes? That could be helpful people, though. That could just be people that it doesn't necessarily have to be. I mean, that could be family. That could be anybody that's helpful to you. But I feel like there's something going on between the Page of Cups, the Knight of Cups, and the Ace of Cups, all on this side of the sector of the map, that might be like a situation due over time, right? This Knight of Cups is in journey towards something in your creativity sector. So, you might need to create the ideas or the relationship that is around there. Does that make sense? Ultimately, I don't feel like I'm supposed to be with him. Then you don't have to be. I'm not saying you have to be. But there could be somebody out there for you. And I feel like this Knight of Cups says creatively, you very well may be able to create something. Because the Knight of Cups to me is always like sort of a offering of love, even though he's in your creativity department, right? And you also have the Two of Cups in your spiritual connection space, which is really good, I think. But it's also a love card, right? The Ace of Cups can be a love card. The Knight of Cups is a love offering. You have the Knight of Cups twice. So there's something going on here where I think as you sort stuff out along your career journey path and your money wealth path and start to speak your mind in this sort of more so, right, in this kind of fame sector and how you're perceived, you might very well open yourself up to new people. There might be new knights or new pages that show up in your life that you then creatively start finding yourself moving towards, right? Because this also says time to move. And this is like career journey, but journey can also be like your life path, right? So to me, maybe part of this is to creatively journey as the Knight of Cups. Not like your whole life should be about searching for love per se, but being open to the idea of loving whatever it is that you do and that you create may lead you very much to something that could be quite beautiful. So I hope that makes sense. To me, it feels like a really good reading. And it feels like, again, you're on your way towards something really good. I think you have some really great things already going on. It is. It really is, actually. I mean, this is very transitory, and this is like you've already done, and you're already starting on something new coming in, so you're good. Oh my gosh. Excuse me. All right, you guys, is there anybody else that's interested in purchasing a reading? If not, I am going to sign off because we're already at 50 minutes. And if not, that's okay. You know, it's just mama's got to make her coin, as they say. Thank you, Beth. Lots of cups. Lots of emotional, but nothing like negative. You're welcome. Thank you. All right, you guys, I think I'm going to sign off because it's gotten kind of quiet. But I appreciate everybody who tuned in and commented and watched and did all of that sort of stuff. I'm going to go and hang out with my dogs. Be lazy. It's been like, I've had like a weird headache up here all day. Just been like tired. Ugh. Ugh. So I think I'm just gonna go lay back down. I've been watching this Netflix documentary about the New York mob bosses and how they brought them down. It's called Fear City. It's kind of cool, kind of interesting. Like in the 70s and 80s, how New York was just run by the mafia, and I didn't know it was so like pervasive. I like that sort of stuff. Like not the mafia, but like those sort of like, you know, historical things where you learn. I mean, like most of the major buildings that were being built in Manhattan in the 70s and 80s are all mob related. It's crazy. You know, like our government didn't know how to catch them and stuff. It was really, they were rather prolific in their crimes. All right, you guys, I think I'm going to go. I will talk to you guys later. If anybody's ever interested in it, now that your crow's glued back together, maybe your headache will go away. I hope so. Actually, my headache still has 4 legs, and he's in the other room, probably making a plan to break something else. It's a bummer. He totally broke him. He knocked him off my desk. He grabbed a cord, and he was chewing on it. He yanked the cord, and it knocked the whole crow right off the desk. At least I found his beak. I'm happy that I found his beak. They say that when like sort of totems like this or like angel statues, things like that, if they break, they say sometimes that's them taking a hit for you. You know, like somebody's maybe sending you some negative energy or vibes. And so when something like that, you know, he sits right here on my desk, and he's black onyx, which is a very cool stone. And so I don't know if he was maybe taking a hit for me. from somebody with some sideways vibes. I hope that's not the case, but I have had different things, like when a crystal breaks, or like, you know, if you have like an angel statue, if it snaps its wings or something, it usually, or if it gets chipped, it means it was like watching out for you, or at least that's like the belief. I don't know how true it is, but I just put his nose back together so in case he needs to take another hit, I'm good. I'm just kidding. Yes, I can turn amethyst dark and break it. Protective. I have tons of amethyst all over my house. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. I think I'm going to go watch more mob stuff and just zone out. It's hot here. It's like in the 90s. Yesterday I went swimming in the pool. It was really nice. It's the first time I got to swim in the pool since moving here. So I was really surprised. The dogs barked the whole time I was in the pool because they couldn't get to me. It's kind of cute. They were like running around the pool going, ruff, 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 because they wanted to get near me and they couldn't access me because I was in the water. But yeah, so thanks for tuning in, everybody. I will talk to you all later. And yeah, it's hot here. I live in Texas, Aaron. So it's hot in Texas. It's been 91 the last few days, but I think next week we're getting thunderstorms, which we need. We need the rain big time. So hopefully, I don't know if it will cool down, but we need the thunderstorms. God, I can't believe how tired I am. All right. I'll see you guys later. Have a good day. All right. And Beth, just message me when you want to do, if you still want to do the card reading. Just let me know when, and I'll message you before I do it, like around what date you want it done. All right. And I will talk to you guys later. All right. Have a good day.